Tulsa Public Schools is responding to a video posted online by the State Department of Education.
The video is titled "The Real Crisis of Tulsa's Failing Schools," and it uses news clips, including several from News on 6. Now, these clips are interspersed with statistics about TPS.
Well, new test scores reveal widespread failure in several Tulsa schools.
We told you earlier this month the number of Tulsa public schools on the federal needs improvement list doubled this year.
Well, half of all the students here at Cleveland Middle School are failing their state math and reading tests, and Cleveland isn't alone.
Now, we want to know that no one from the State Department of Education asked our permission to use copyrighted material from News on 6 for that video. We have asked the State Superintendent's office to remove any stories from our newscasts as soon as possible.
In a statement in response to that video, TPS says in part, quote, "Our focus on reading and math will lead to gains in spring 2024 state test scores at Tulsa Public Schools. We are eager to incorporate the State Superintendent's specific strategies once he shares his plan with us." We are joined now by TPS Superintendent Dr. Deborah Gist. Dr. Gist, thanks for taking a few minutes and being with us here at 4 o'clock.
I'm happy to be back. It's good to see you both.
Absolutely. So this video, of course, has been in the news. It's been just the latest in the back and forth between the district and the state. Ryan Walters did not hold back. He is asking for a change in leadership. And I want to mention one quote he said and kind of get your response to it. There was an analogy that he said, and it's, quote, "Tulsa Public Schools is a bus being driven by Superintendent Deborah Gist. That bus has veered off the road. That bus has gone into a ditch, and now that bus has crashed right into a tree." What's your response to that? It's gotten personal. Do you have any plans to resign at any point since he is calling for a change in leadership?
You know, I think one thing that people need to think about when you consider an analogy like that is that you have to think about what is the quality of the bus. Does it have 4 tires? Does it have any gas? Is the road washed out? You know, there's a lot that you can do with something like that, but here's the thing. Here's what matters most to Tulsa families. They know that their kids are starting school on August 17th. They want us focused on getting them there safely and making sure that while they're there, the best possible quality education is being provided to them and that they come home happy every day.
So do you plan on resigning? Are there any plans for that?
You know, this is my home. Tulsa is the school district that raised me. I graduated from these schools. Nothing matters to me more than Tulsa Public Schools. And I think everybody in Tulsa, whether they agree with me or they don't agree with me about different policy decisions or whatnot, they know not only that I deeply care about this district and that the team and I work tirelessly to serve our children. I think they also know how completely committed I am to Tulsa. Right now, we're focused on opening schools and keeping, in spite of all of this drama that is being created, we're super focused on serving students and trying to shield our families and our team from these intentional efforts to distract.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. The state superintendent laid out all of the data from their office, and it could be alarming for a lot of parents at home to hear that the district state reading scores are below the state average. There's a lot of problems, and you've said that there is a plan for that improvement and that students are meeting these targets that y'all have laid out. How are y'all tracking that progress to be confident that the scores in the next spring will improve?
Well, I think first of all, what's important for Oklahomans to realize about the data that that Mr. Walters shared is not only that most of what he shared that day is not correct, but when you look at performance, that no one is more concerned about our students' performance than we are, and we have a specific plan, to your point. We're working that plan. We've been transparent about that plan, and every month at board meetings, we talk about our progress toward the goals that we've set. The state performance as a whole that he shared even that day, fewer than 1/3 of Oklahoma students are proficient in reading. So we have a state superintendent who has a massive responsibility on his hands to manage his office, which he's failing to do, and also to lead the state towards the improvements that we need to make. Oklahoma has gone from a little bit about half of where we are ranking in the country relative to other states to 3rd from the bottom. And that requires collaborative work by all of us in education in the state and leadership at the state level, and we don't have that right now.
So inside that data that he laid out, what in there was incorrect? Is there anything top of mind?
Oh, the financial data was incorrect. There were accusations that were made about the way we spend our money and some other items that I even corrected him about in person on Friday, and he shared it on Monday despite that. So it's pretty evident that this is an intentional effort to upset, and we don't know exactly why, but again, here's what we do know. Our families want their kids to have a great day at school on August 17th and beyond, and that is what has to require our attention. We're totally focused on that, and so what's happening from the state level is this like sort of throwing of grenades constantly, and we're going to do our best to make sure that Oklahomans know where we stand on those things, but not to the point of making that our full-time jobs. It seems to be his, but we don't have time for that. We have kids to serve and work to do and improvement to make.
So y'all are meeting these markers. Is there a place where parents can go and see that for themselves? There is improvements being made. Where can they go see that information for themselves?
Absolutely. TulsaSchools.org has our very detailed plan that our Board of Education led, that was created in a way that was informed by Tulsans. And then we had a community committee that put the strategies in place to meet the goals that the board set. So all of this was led by our locally elected Board of Education, informed by Tulsa students, teachers, parents, and business leaders and higher ed leaders. And at every single board meeting, we talk about our progress toward those goals. So we do have a plan, and we're seeing progress toward that plan. And, you know, in the 13 years that was referenced in that propaganda piece, a lot of things have changed, and improvement has happened during that time. And then the state did away with the old standards, created new standards, developed a new assessment, a new accountability system. So the idea that was presented as if this was some kind of trajectory is just not accurate. And what we know is that we are the first ones to own the work that we need to do as a district. We're doing that work. We have that plan, we're working that plan, and we're staying focused on the safety, the wellness, the happiness, and the academic success of Tulsa children.
Well, you know, of course, this has been the talk of town, it seems like, over the past week. We asked Mayor G.T. Bynum about this back and forth between the state and Tulsa Public Schools, and this is what he had to say about it.
I am convinced that both Dr. Gist and Superintendent Walters want TPS to be better. They may have different ideas of what that looks like, and I think it's really important that we take the personalities out of this and put the kids back at the forefront of this.
Well, you know, with this being so personal, do you think that Superintendent Walters wants the best for Tulsa Public Schools? Since it is so personal, are you going to be able to work with him? Do you think that it's past that, or can you work with him? I know you went down to Oklahoma City and spoke with him personally as well, right?
I did last week, and I also had a chance to sit down with the mayor this week. We're doing everything we can to resolve this. I care so much about our work and our students. We will work with anyone, and we stand ready to do that work and to collaborate, and that's what it's going to take to lift up Oklahoma's performance from last in the country. It's going to take leadership, and it's going to take the collaboration of educators from all across the state. So, you know, I can't imagine trying to presume what someone's intentions are. I think the actions are pretty clear that there's a disruptive result at minimum from what's happening, if not the intent. But regardless, we are absolutely ready to work together. We're anxious to share what we've been doing and for years now, and the progress that we've made and what evidence we have. As the kids say, show me the receipts. We have those. We know all of that is available on TulsaSchools.org and has been presented to the state.
And, you know, we mentioned school does start next week, so we want to ask you about that, maybe some new things for parents. We're going to do that after this break, so stay with us, and we'll be back with more with Dr. Gist.
Yeah.